Hello, everyone, and welcome to Luminate Finals 2024. And whether you're joining us today in the room here in Rochester, or the many hundreds of folks who are joining from around the world online, you're in for a very exciting afternoon. So today is all about bright minds and big ideas and the boundless potential that results when innovators have the support they need to bring the next great thing to industry and to the world. My name's Jim Sanal. I'm the president of NextCore, and every year, thank you. That's not what you should be cheering for. Every year, our nonprofit works with more than 150 innovative tech companies, helping them launch and grow through our internationally and nationally recognized accelerator programs, obviously including Luminate, as well as Venture for Climate Tech, Scale for Climate Tech, and our manufacturing accelerator. And also through the support we provide regionally to companies through our incubation program, the Embark No-Code Software Development Bootcamp, and manufacturing support services. So today we're excited to be celebrating, hard to believe, the 7th cohort of Luminate, and it's 10 companies that have groundbreaking technologies that are destined to change how we develop new drugs, screen and treat diseases, build electronics, experience play, and so much more. Later in the program, you'll meet Luminate's Managing Director and Chief Investment Officer, Dr. Sujatha Ramanujan, who has led and grown. That deserves applause for sure. Sujatha has led and grown this program since its inception into the world's largest accelerator for companies working in optics, imaging, and photonics-enabled technologies. And she will have the honor later of announcing which of today's companies will walk away with a share of $2 million in follow-on funding. So, more cowbell, as they say, right? Our ability to bring the most promising companies from around the world to Luminate wouldn't be possible without the continued support of New York State Governor Kathy Hochul. Her advocacy has been consistent. Yeah, that deserves a cheer as well. Her advocacy has been consistent and powerful for Rochester's tech sector. And of course, we're also extremely grateful to Empire State Development, which funds Luminate and many other innovation assets across New York State. So I want to give special thanks to the ESD team, including Regional Director Laura Fox O'Sullivan and her team, Ben Verschweren, who's here, Elizabeth Luskin, and Vinny Esposito, who you'll meet a bit later as he provides some remarks. So for the last 5 years, Optica has been a sponsor of this Luminate Finals event. We appreciate our continued partnership with one of the leading societies for scientists, engineers, students, and everyone that's interested in the science of light. Optica's acting CEO, Elizabeth Nolan, is leading her staff right now at the Society's Frontiers in Optics and Laser Science Conference. So she's asked us to pass along and encourage anyone who's interested in optics and photonics to explore all the benefits that Optica provides, from its many publications and events to the resources and connections it provides to more than 400,000 students and professionals all over the world. Great organization. Right now, it's a very exciting time for entrepreneurship and innovation here in Rochester, New York. This event is being held in Innovation Square in the middle of the downtown innovation zone, where NextCore's facility, our incubator, labs are located, along with the Commissary Food Incubator, RIT's Venture Creations Incubator, the Center for Urban Entrepreneurship, and more than 200 creative and innovation class companies right here in this region. These development activities of innovation coincide with the redevelopment of so many of our historic downtown buildings, the arrival of thousands of new residents living in the city, multiple Rockler Riverway projects that are creating more open space for the public to enjoy the Genesee Waterway, and in the not-too-distant future, a very exciting new state park at the High Falls Gorge. So, can't wait for that. Also exciting in the region, there's so many things. I hope that by now everyone's heard of the region's federal designation as a tech hub. I'm sure you've heard the New York Smart Eye Corridor Initiative is only one of 12 funded tech hubs in the United States, the only one focused on the semiconductor sector. So in combining the assets of Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse as a super region, we'll transform that region into a globally recognized semiconductor manufacturing hub over the next decade. In the process, that, along with everything else that I've already mentioned, will help ignite innovation, manufacturing, supply chain development, workforce development, job creation, and additional economic growth. So these are just a few of the things inspiring all of us that are happening in our region, and they reflect the same spirit that you'll see today from these teams who are competing in the Luminate Finals. By pushing the limits, they are creating new possibilities for their industries, for people, and for the entire world. And that's a great thing, because finals is all about boundless potential. In fact, feel free to share your thoughts and images of today's events using that hashtag, boundless potential. So at this point, I'm really pleased to introduce our MC for this afternoon, Rebecca LeClaire. She will be a familiar face to many of you after producing and anchoring local news here in Rochester for almost 30 years. She's also, for the past 5 years, served as a media consultant for a number of different companies here in Rochester. We're super excited to have here today as an MC, so please join me in welcoming Rebecca to the stage.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you, and thank you for that warm welcome, Jim. I am so excited to be here with you today to help share the impact that Luminate is having on companies of the future. And it's really exciting because I'm not going to lie, it's pretty exciting to hand out millions of dollars. Who wouldn't want that job, right? Yeah. Okay, and I see a lot of you have the little clappers. Hi, Jim. And the cowbells. Can we try it a little bit? Who's got the clappers? Who's got the cowbell? Okay, you know how to do it. Don't make me ask you or remind you. All right, when NextCore embarked on creating the Luminate Accelerator 7 years ago, the staff focused on one simple truth. It takes more than a good idea for a startup to be successful. It's kind of like that saying, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, the same thing is true for early stage companies, especially those that are bringing deep tech to the market. For these inventions, multiple technologies often have to be seamlessly integrated in ways never thought possible before in order for new capabilities to come to life. And to do this, they need connections to the best experts who can help them solve challenges. They need a well-defined roadmap and partners willing to work with startups to get their product manufacturing underway. And they need the education and support to build a business that's attractive to investors. This is where Luminate comes in. So let's take a closer look.
Luminate is an accelerator and an investor, and we're actually the world's largest accelerator in optics, photonics, and imaging. Every year, we take 10 companies into the program in that early stage from all over the world. We begin by investing $100,000 up front into each one of the companies. There isn't really a part of your life that's not impacted by optics, and the innovation that's coming out of these companies is the next level in each one of those things.
The technologies that these companies are building, deep tech technologies, impact the world. These need to be manufactured, primarily hardware-related products. Those companies go through a 6-month, very intensive program. We offer resources to startup companies, coaching, mentoring, access to investors, service providers, as well as industry experts that can help these companies grow.
They'll get access to resources that were just hard to come by and can have conversations that are hard to have and find, good informed people to have those conversations with.
Rochester has been for over 100 years the real epicenter of optics.
We have an enormous amount of infrastructure here and a supplier base of companies. How do we build on our strength? And I think that's why Rochester will succeed in this optical photonics and imaging initiative.
This is a great environment. Having an accelerator facility where the folks can get together, work on what they need with folks helping them, mentoring them, is very, very important. You don't see a lot of facilities like this, and this is really unique.
From co-working to offices, we've got wet labs for people that need laboratories. We've got prototyping shop with 3D printers and laser cutters.
At the end of that program, we have $2 million of additional funds that we invest in the best of those companies. We're investing $3 million every year.
For every dollar that Luminate invests in these companies, we find that at least $7 are matched by other investors or possibly some grant money. So we like to think that that first dollar that we put into a company is like a seed that attracts so much more.
If you have an investment community and a critical mass of startup companies, then this does become sustainable for a long period of time.
Suddenly you're part of something. You're part of something big, and you're credible, and people are listening. I think that it gives you a real lift into the industry.
Over the next hour, you're going to hear how Luminate has helped each of the 10 teams in Cohort 7 get a lift up. As they graduate from the accelerator today, their businesses are going to be stronger, more prepared, and ready to move forward faster in commercializing their ideas. Before you meet these finalists and hear their amazing stories, we'd like to recognize and thank a few more people for their ongoing support of Luminate, including Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, State Senators Sam Mabrouk and Jeremy Cooney, Congressman Joe Morelli, Assembly Member Jennifer Lunsford, Monroe County Executive Adam Bello, Finger Lakes Regional Economic Development Council co-chairs Bob Duffy and Denise Battles, Luminate's distinguished advisory board members, Monroe County and the City of Rochester, our principal academic partners, the University of Rochester and the Rochester Institute of Technology, the Rochester Chamber of Commerce, Greater Rochester Enterprise, and One Rock. Also, Excel Partners, the staff at NextCore, who put on the Luminate program every day. It's a wonderful team. And Rochester's Mayor Malik Evans. Now, Senator Brook and Mayor Evans are both here today, and they're going to say a few words. So please join me first in welcoming Senator Sam Brook to the stage.
Thanks for humoring me. That's a longer walk than I realized. Hello, everyone. I am Senator Sam Mabrouk. It's so wonderful to be here with all of you and to start learning about some of these incredible pitches that we're going to hear today. So first, I want to thank Sujatha and the team at Luminate for making sure that we're aware of the amazing things that are happening right here in our own city. One thing that a lot of folks don't realize perhaps is that before I decided to be a state senator, I was working in the tech space. I wouldn't call it deep tech, and it probably isn't close to what y'all do, but it was really, for me, the way in which I was trying to create good and create impact in my community. And of course, now I find myself as a state senator, so the closest I get to tech is sitting on our Internet and Technology Committee. But obviously, as a representative in the state, we're proud to support this program. And I really just want to say congratulations to Cohort 7. I still hold the belief very, very deeply that used responsibly and ethically and given the tools and the funding necessary, tech and technology can solve some of our greatest challenges that we face here. And I already started flipping through some of these pitches to see there are some, the safe street solutions particular, as someone with a young child who is very nervous sometimes driving around, I wanna see what you all have to pitch, because some of these things are things that affect us every day. And of course, others are bigger challenges, like screening for diseases and being able to literally save lives. So congratulations already to Cohort 7 for making it through here, and anticipated congratulations to the winner. So thank you all so much.
Thank you, Samra. Well, now we have Mayor Evans, and he's already ready to jump up those steps. So we're delighted to have you join us, Mayor Evans, and I understand you have a little proclamation to make, so take the stage.
You know, I thought I was being punked when I'd walk in here, because my sons brought these type of things home the other day and been clapping them all around the house. So when I saw these, I'm like, oh man, here we go. So they'll get a kick out of that. Let me just say, I'm going to be brief, very few words. I know that you want to get to the point of the judges making their determination on the winners, and I'm standing in the way of that. So I will move expeditiously. Just let me say thank you to Senator Brook, who's here, as well as I saw Vinny Esposito from the governor's office, and the governor for all their support in this great Luminate event that we have regularly here. I tell people all the time, if I'm in a foul mood, coming here takes that away, because there are such inspirational individuals that have participated in Luminate over the years to really show the best of what we have in our community. And it's great to have it right here in Rochester. I want to wish all the finalists good luck. For those of you that are not from Rochester, I welcome you to Rochester. And it is my belief that you will end up locating your businesses in Rochester. In fact, I know that you will. In May, I think it was April, it was April. I think it was April. It was either April or May. I highlighted in my State of the City address, and I quoted a business that won an Illuminate Award, and they talked about how they wish that they would have relocated their business in Rochester earlier, and they did end up locating their business here. And I know that we do have one finalist from Rochester, Safe Street Solutions. Congratulations to you, and good luck. You know, here in Rochester, we have a vibrant and growing community. So I hope you get a chance to enjoy all that Rochester has to offer in the time that you are here. And it's a privilege to participate in this event each year, because coming here gives you a view into the future. It's not often that you can look into the future. I love watching Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. I watch them all the time. But just think, those are the things that people thought about. So that technology presented today may not be in people's hands yet, but I know that that day is coming. So this gives us kind of like a sneak peek of what will be here, and that's why this event is so important. It's also important because it's a reminder to folks, because sometimes people say, oh, where's Rochester? Where is it? So I'm in competition with mayors all the time. I'm like, well, guess what? Optics and photonics and imaging, that started here. It's here in Rochester where it started. So Luminate's accelerator is now adding to that groundbreaking optics, photonics, and imaging solutions that are being developed here. And thanks to these investments, Rochester remains one of the most vibrant, skilled, and innovative cities in which to do business. And I think that that is a reminder that as mayor, it's my job to say, and I don't mind saying it because it's just not hyperbole, it is a fact. And we intend to keep it that way. And we intend to keep it that way because we have great organizations like NextCore, Empire State Development, and our state leaders. They are committed to the innovation economy, and that is what we want to make sure that Rochester remains. I also want to thank Liz Rogan, I don't know if she's here, and to our other photonics industries for supporting and encouraging startups who benefit from the wealth of wisdom and experience that is in this room. I wish all of you brave entrepreneurs the best of luck. I have a special proclamation here because as mayor, you get to proclaim things. And I don't know who wants to accept this on behalf of Luminate. Is Sujatha, maybe? Is she here? Sujatha here? Sujatha is here. While she comes forward, you can use these things. By the way, I'm not taking these home. My son also ordered whistles the other day off of Amazon. So he's blowing whistles and doing these things, these clappers. But basically, we have a proclamation. I will not read it in its entirety, but Sujatha, I'll read the last whereas. And it says, whereas Rochester is proud to host the Luminate Finals for Cohort 7, which brings 10 finalists representing innovative ideas from around the world to compete for follow-up funding of more than $2 million. They will be given the opportunity to connect with global leaders, work with mentors, get the critical business training, collaborate with others, and connect with investors here in New York's photonics capital. Now, therefore, I, Malik D. Evans, Mayor of the City of Rochester, New York, do hereby proclaim September 26, 2024 to be Luminate Day. So happy Luminate Day. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you, Mayor Evans. You need an extra clapper? You can take mine. No? No, no. Too noisy in your house already, I bet. All right, now we are going to turn our attention to the startups of Cohort 7. Over the next few minutes, you're going to meet the first half of the companies competing for follow-on funding. You'll see a brief video presentation from each finalist that showcases their company and technology. Pay close attention because you'll have the chance later to vote for your favorite company to help them win the Audience Choice Award, and they'll get $10,000. All right, so pay attention. Now, after these first companies go, we're going to move on to our panel discussion on artificial intelligence, optics, and ethics, and then we'll introduce the remaining companies. This year, 7 out of our 10 finalists come from countries outside of the U.S., demonstrating the international reach of this program. Luminate also attracts and selects companies working to solve pressing challenges in almost every industry. And I want to mention this because, a funny thing happened in our alphabetical lineup this year. The first 5 companies are all working in health and life sciences. So, get ready to meet number 1, AI Optics, which is headquartered in New York City. Their team is working to make screening for diseases of the eyes more widely available.
We're AI Optics, and we're on a mission to drastically increase the access to retinal screening. 1.5 billion individuals are at risk for retinal disease. Diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, age-related macular degeneration that are causing vision loss and blindness. We have so many individuals who need to actually get screened for these diseases so that we can catch them early and intervene early and prevent that vision loss and blindness. The problem is the vast majority of these individuals are just not getting screened. And this is fundamentally due to a lack of access to eye specialists, lack of convenience. This is something that our technology wants to solve. We've built a handheld, end-to-end, fully integrated retinal screening system that's essentially this portable retinal camera made to be very easy to use so that a medical assistant can effectively screen a patient who's coming into their annual physical right at a primary care office without having to go to an eye specialist. This allows an operator to hold up the system to a patient's eye, easily acquire a photograph, and then that photograph is immediately interpreted locally, so within the system itself, and provides an immediate screening result, which takes under a minute. On the actual screen itself, they'll see the AI interpretation in the screening result, as well as a clinical recommendation. It's also sent to the electronic medical record for easy access to the providers. This is something that we believe will actually increase the access to screening for patients. Each patient that they screen, they're able to get reimbursement for that screen, and so there's a very clear clinical as well as financial value proposition to implement this. Our team at AI Optics, we built everything from scratch, the entire system, ground up, end to end, and this is a patented and clinically validated product.
It's been an honor to be part of the Luminate program. They've provided us with a ton of resources, they have an incredible knowledge base, and they've even connected us with a lot of local partners.
Good people, good resources, just a good network overall, and couldn't recommend the program more.
This product is exciting because it has the potential to impact so many people.
The idea for the technology and eventually AI Optics came about from my experiences at medical school at NYU and seeing patients lose their vision directly due to lack of access to retinal screening. And so we created AI Optics, and we've got an incredible product that enables point-of-care providers to actually directly provide such a screening service. It's so personally fulfilling. The magnitude of the impact that this can have, that's what drives us.
And I just want to say that I can see Luke right here. It's tough when you have an 80-foot screen and your face is right there, but good thing he's good looking, right? All right, next up is Cure Vision, coming to Luminate from Munich, Germany. They've created a system for healthcare professionals that provides fully automatic and exact wound analysis in just seconds.
At Cure Vision, it's our mission to improve the lives of millions of patients with chronic wounds. 12 million people in the world suffer from chronic wounds. The most common reasons to have a chronic wound, it's for example diabetes or having vascular diseases. Currently, healthcare professionals rely on their bare eyes and paper rulers to assess the status of the wound. But if you're not specialized in wound care, it's hard for you to evaluate Healthcare professionals need a solution that seamlessly integrates into their stressful workday. That's where CureVision comes in. We have developed a smart monitoring system which is able to analyze chronic wounds. Our users are using our handheld hardware device to capture the needed data by simply taking 2 pictures. The sensors have captured all important information and feeds them to our custom software, which is implementing computer vision technology as well as artificial intelligence to calculate the results, which include the size of the wound, the involvement of the tissue types within the wound bed, as well as a temperature analysis. Our users get an exact report with the current status of the wound compared to the last assessment. With CureVision, healthcare professionals get a fully automatic wound analysis in 2 minutes. We spend a lot of time in designing our user experience in a way that it is as easy as possible for our users. Our device is currently used by healthcare professionals to monitor patients in hospitals, wound centers, and outpatient care facilities. The feedback we got from healthcare providers using our system was very positive. Luminate has been a great experience. As a German startup, we learned a lot of things in regards to the US market, FDA regulations for our medical device. Luminate was a real booster to the next level of CureVision. To see our system in the use of healthcare professionals is the best feeling that I can imagine. At CureVision, we will be able to improve the lives of millions of patients.
We've only seen 2 companies, and I've been inspired, but I also know why I did not go to medical school. I don't know if I could do that. All right, our 3rd company today traveled the farthest to participate in Luminate, Singapore. Israel-based Ellipsium is working on a groundbreaking dosimetry system for radiation therapy and advanced X-ray imaging that's already being used at leading cancer centers. Take a look.
At Elysium, we developed a full system that is used by medical physicists at cancer center for radiation therapy to measure the dose where we enable better cancer treatments with less side effects. The current technology, which they use film that burns when they're exposed to radiation, it is not good enough in speed, it's not good enough in the resolution, and it's not good in the dose accuracy. At Elysium, we develop nanomaterials that absorb radiation and convert it into visible light. Our unique nanomaterials have the ability to store information. It is called persistent luminescence. We embedded our nanomaterial inside a transparent silicon. During the preparation stages, while the patient are still at home, the medical physicist takes our product and put it in the exact position where the patient is supposed to be. They turn on the machine and expose the product to the beam profile. In order to extract the information, we developed a readout device which is able to capture the light emitted from our materials. We developed a software which is able to convert the light output into radiation dose. The medical physicist is now able to determine the beam profile to create a radiation map and the radiation dose per pixel. This improved accuracy enables better treatment for patients because their healthy tissues are not exposed to radiation which is not needed. Using our system, it takes only 5 minutes to create this dose map. The workflow at the hospital can improve significantly and they're able to treat more patients in less time. You can expose the material to radiation, extract the data, and then expose it again and reuse it again and again. All of these benefits can create cost saving for the hospitals and the cancer centers. We're extremely grateful for this experience at Luminate. The programs enables us to really expand into a new market, both in introductions and all the regulatory aspects that you need when you sell a medical device. It introduced us to manufacturing partners which are helping us scale up our manufacturing. We're quite grateful that we're able to take this scientific breakthrough and develop it into a product that can impact life around the world.
Now it's time to meet iLof. Based in the United Kingdom and Portugal, iLof is delivering an AI-powered platform to accelerate the future of precise, personalized drug development. Take a look.
The name of the company is iLof. We're a deep tech, health tech company, and we take small amounts of biological fluids, so serum or plasma that are blood derivatives. Using our proprietary multispectral sensor, we collect light signatures from these samples. We digitalize them. We create a virtual digital twin of these biological samples. They are then sent to the cloud, where our artificial intelligence models and software filters through the noise and retains the value on the data, up to 10 times more detail in orders of magnitude than our competitors, and then compares it with previously trained signatures. What we're then able to do is we're able to say that this patient fits well into the study or it doesn't, and we're able to give personalized recommendations that help delivers to these pharmas and to these biotechs the information they need. So we want to shrink the time that it takes for these new treatments to get to market, and we want to make sure that the patients that badly need it get these treatments a lot faster. The problem that our technology is solving is that for the past centuries, new treatments have been developed based on this idea that the same medication will work equally for everyone, which today we know that this is not the truth. We want to take the differences in patients into account when conducting these clinical studies, and we actually help these studies be successful by cutting 70% of the time and 40% of the cost while maintaining a very patient-centric and humane experience. This allows us to tackle a wider array of conditions. The main one, Alzheimer's disease, ovarian cancer, and also infectious diseases. We're speaking about a multi-billion-dollar market. Participating in Luminate has been a fantastic experience. It actually over-exceeded all of our expectations. It finally allowed us to set a stronger base in the US, and we're doing it in the city of Rochester. And just the access to capital, talent, and expertise that we've been having through the program is absolutely outstanding. We've raised over 10 million from leading global investors, including Microsoft Ventures, and we're currently looking to bring on board other passionate investors that want to join us in our path to revolutionize medicine.
It's exciting, and who knew blood had light signatures in it like that? You know, it's really fascinating to me, especially when I hear that it could help people with diseases like Alzheimer's, for sure. Okay, on deck next is NixLab. Hailing from Silicon Valley in California, they have found a way to deliver a fabless chip with more than 1,000 channels, elevating the next generation of electronics and photonics integrated circuits. Check it out.
Our product is called XDEC, which consists of hardware and software that we created in-house. We integrate our device with the semiconductor chip industry to help them reduce their cost for testing and get more reliable and also high yield of their productions. The current problem in the semiconductor industry testing for the chip is because the current equipment is bulky, expensive, and also not integrated. Our solution provides technology that 20 times smaller, 3 times cheaper, all integrated with easy-to-use software. Our device analyzing the reliability of the chip. This reduces the amount of defective chip and also puts out high yield in the manufacturing. It is important for the semiconductor chip manufacturer. So we have shipped our product to over 15 countries. Now also being used to different applications such as the AI, quantum, and also in data centers, NASA used for the space, and also US Army for defense, and NVIDIA for the AI. For those companies, they use our equipment to be integrated with their chip to make it function properly in different applications. One of the basic functions of our product is provide the voltage and currents. Our equipment helps guide light so it can work properly into different applications. Luminate helps us to connect with the potential vendors that can help us for our next generation device, that including photonic integrated circuit development. Rochester area give us the facility that we can use to develop our own chip and also the future devices. We are inspired to create more innovative devices so we can help people to have a better life around the world. This motivates our team every day.
That's Nick's lab. And the last company in this set is headquartered in Amsterdam. Photosynthetic is pioneering the next generation of advanced microfabrication technology by enabling intricate microstructures to be mass-produced in seconds instead of hours. Get ready to learn more.
We're Photosynthetic, and we're making the fastest micro 3D printer in the world. If you're developing hardware products, let's say at a normal scale, you have many tools available for you. But if you're trying to make something complex, three-dimensional, but at nano or micro scale, it becomes really hard and really expensive. Modern micro 3D printing techniques use light to cure liquid resin into solid 3D structure, either point by point or layer by layer. We invented a technique that uses millions of light beams simultaneously to cure a 3D shape almost instantaneously. The benefit of our product is that we can do three things at the same time. We can reach ultra-high resolution, creating features at the micron or even nano scale. We can provide design flexibility that is needed to create complex 3D structures. And we can reach ultra-high speeds that are required for scalability and mass production. It is the first technology on the market that can actually do all three things at the same time. Our technology can be used in many applications. Our customers are companies that develop unique, innovative products.
Many groundbreaking innovations are stalled at the research stage due to a lack of micro and nano mass production methods. Our team will unlock the life-changing potential of these technologies.
Our first priority is to enable fabrication of microneedle array patches for self-vaccination. It's a technology that reduces the cost and increases availability of vaccination, basically saving lives. This opportunity in itself opens a market of $10 billion by 2030. For the first time, we created a technology enabling mass production of high-tech products that were impossible to fabricate before.
Luminate is the right place to be for us. We have mentorship, experience and expertise in one place.
Rochester is packed with technical experts, with companies and research facilities that are active in this field, so we're very happy to be there. My passion is to create microfabrication tools that are behind the future high-tech products, enabling other technologies to reach the market. We are Photosynthetic, and we invite you to join us in printing the future.
Photosynthetic. All right, that completes the first 6 companies. Now, keep track of what you liked in this first set so you can compare it to the second, because you will be making your audience choice. But, you know, many of us, we do all have our favorite invention that we just can't live without. You know, for me, it's the dishwasher, right? It saves so much time and lots of money, too. Because here is a fun fact. People always list, you know, Xerox, Kodak, Bausch & Lomb as the top inventors of this region, you know, but I'm here for General Railway Signal. They have amassed 2,500 patents and created many commonly used things right here in Rochester, and among them, you guessed it, the first electric dishwasher. So thank you. Come on, give me your little clappers for that. Save me from washing dishes. Well, the Rochester and Finger Lakes region has been recognized as the optics and imaging capital of the world for a long time. So it seems fitting that we feature a thought-provoking and timely discussion about the ethical use of data collected through optics and imaging technologies in AI-enabled applications. You've heard that word a lot today. So we're going to have a little talk. It's going to be moderated by Dan Lorca. He's the Chief Strategy Officer for tech consultancy Bell Collaborative. And Dan steers technical intelligence for companies in the optics, photonics, imaging, and laser industry. So he's going to be our moderator. By the way, previously he spent 15 years with Apple creating iOS low power mode and also launching Siri for Brazil and Singapore. We also have, well, you know, let's give him a little round of applause for that. We got the clappers. We got the clappers. Yeah. All right, 3 other professionals are joining Dan, and they have some diverse perspectives. So we have Francisco Aguilar, CEO of Bounce Imaging, and a Cohort 1 Luminate company. Yeah. Charbel Risk, CEO and founder of Oculi, the $1 million winner of Luminate Cohort 6. And Chris Smolinski. Now, he currently is developing methods for evaluating the safety and accuracy of generative AI. So let's give him a round of applause. Unfortunately, Jonathan Harrington at the University of Rochester's Department of Health, Humanities, and Bioethics cannot be here with us today. By the way, you can find everybody's full bios in your printed or your digital program. So let's get everybody going, and we're going to lead it away with Dan. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us on a big day. I want to thank everybody from Luminate and Steady New York as well for giving us a chance to have this completely encompassing talk about ethics and AI in optics in 20 minutes. More seriously, we will continue this conversation afterwards through the Luminate newsletter as well. We're going to keep this conversation going because obviously it is a big topic. I wanted to start out with a few acknowledgments. One, of course, that we can't really talk about ethics and AI in optics or in any other field and really keep that in any sort of compact timeline. We really want to use this as a platform for a much larger conversation. Certainly there are lots of current developments. There's a pretty recent meta-study about ethics in AI. There have been a lot of detractors from AI generally, specifically because of concerns. Yesterday's development is the CTO of OpenAI stepping down to explore things herself, which I'm not quite sure what that means, but I would imagine that this is probably tied to fundraising in the industry as well. One thing that I did want to acknowledge, and in our conversation prior to the panel here, in terms of ethics and AI, is the use of resources and how that affects the industry as a whole. Certainly not just within optics, but AI training, use. And so I wanted to post that, to pose that opening question to the panel in terms of what should we do about the colossal resource usage that AI requires?
Thank you, Dan. Everyone is looking at me. I guess maybe they remember from last year that I have allergies to waste, any kind of waste. And as an engineer, power waste has always been driving me crazy. So the technology that I developed was to solve that problem. And, AI right now, it's a buzzword and all of that, but we're doing it in a very brute force approach, and it's very expensive to the environment. If you don't believe me, you should wonder why Amazon bought a nuclear power plant, and then Microsoft is doing the same. The amount of energy used by these humongous models out there is ridiculous. And they also use fresh water. So, these are significant impacts to us and the environment. And then when we dive over to the ethical aspect of it, the whole issue of privacy is significant as well. So I would encourage you not to play with ChatGPT because you're burning a lot of energy in the process.
I'll avoid asking how many R's are in strawberry then. I don't want to waste more cycles on that.
So my own personal background, as was mentioned, was spending a long time at Apple. That's actually where I met Chris. We worked on not just Siri, but other kind of Siri adjacent projects. And the AI training, certainly for something like speech recognition and natural language modeling, is certainly a significant use of resources. Again, in one of the many topics that we can't really fully cover in 20 minutes, I'm not sure how we can necessarily unring that bell, right? I don't think that progress is going to stop, but I think the challenge is there to make it so that we're moving forward in perhaps an energy efficient or reusable energy sort of way. So for another topic, there are certainly lots of, as was mentioned, I think 7 of the 10 startups that are here are AI heavy. And one of the questions that always comes up, and not just with startups, but also with larger companies, is exactly the provenance of data, of training data, evaluation data, and the protection of data. Certainly there's, I think, legislation in the pipeline to really kind of tackle some of these issues, whether certainly health data, a big deal. But what sort of considerations should we have for all of these different types of data? And of course, this goes beyond just AI, but all sorts of data generally that we use throughout our businesses.
Yeah, I mean, so we can comment. So we work with SWAT teams and soldiers, and so the data that we capture often is governed by legal restrictions, right? Especially in the EU. There are like a lot of governmental things to think about, but also things about access and about how data is used and who you work with, right? Because your camera used by the wrong person can end up being used to suppress speech or to or show bias in the delivery of justice or lead to somebody getting killed, right? Like there are very deep questions that we wrestle with as a company about how and who our systems end up being used by. And so, yeah, I mean, absolutely. We are in a very constrained environment in some ways by legislation in some of the things that we do, but it's a daily conversation that can be quite heated internally in our company about what we do and we don't do with this information that we are able to capture about the world. Yeah.
So without necessarily asking you to divulge information you shouldn't, but how do you treat sensitive data?
So one of the things that we do is we don't keep it. So when we have these cameras, I've had to guarantee to somebody at 4 in the morning in a panic that absolutely nothing is stored on the device, right? So a lot of what we end up doing is there's this temptation to have the information and to use it to train models or to use it to make your information better. But when it comes to certain applications, there's a responsibility to destroy it, right? To not have data as part of your, as the sort of the ethical and the requirement of what's needed, right?
Charbel, I know that you also had to use some training data, and Chris, I'm sure throughout your career you have as well. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we're developing smarts at the edge, and the edge for us is really the actual pixel in the sensor. So, Chris is holding a standard camera that has an imaging sensor in there. It generates an image that he has to process. We're solving the privacy issue with visual data by putting the smarts at the pixel level. So it doesn't look like an image anymore. It's just data. So you can't associate the output of our sensor with Chris or Dan or anybody else.
And just for those of us who had to look this up before this conversation, Edge AI refers to having AI processing not in a centralized location, but rather on the end device or near the end device that might be in question.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I think also that there's, some areas and some fields like medical where there's very clear rules about how this data is handled, and so that makes it a little bit easier for those companies. You follow the rules, everything is good. For those who are more consumer-facing, maybe where the rules haven't been written yet, it's important to honor the best wishes that you can expect from the customer. And, so one thing that I think about that is kind of wild to me is that companies will actually opt to sell the data that they have to third parties. That seems completely crazy to me. There's no way that your customer would really be too excited about that. Like, hey, you've been using our product and we decided to share it with all these other organizations as well. So I think that because data use is becoming more and more pervasive and prevalent and people are noticing, it's pushing for more legislation. But before that legislation comes, it's important to be a good citizen. And your customers will thank you for it anyways.
I think jumping on that, one of the things that companies could certainly consider early on is precisely what would happen if someone were to find out or it be public that you have done this thing with the data. How would your customers feel? How would you feel about having your data in that situation as well?
I mean, I might go to jail, right? If we mess up handling of evidence of data, if we end up sharing a location that ends up getting somebody hurt, right? Like, it's not only like it's a personal risk, but it's also just the moral weight of getting somebody hurt or somebody, improperly going through the justice system or something, right? It's high stakes, getting data protection right. Absolutely, yeah.
I was just going to say, we're talking about, a company's willingly, sharing the data, right? But the whole issue of cybersecurity, right? How many of you here have received notices that your information have been compromised? I've received 3 so far. Okay, I'm popular with the...
This month?
Almost, yeah, with the national data breach, right? So the issue is much bigger than that, right? So the world, I'm sure you've all heard that now we are in the information age, right? The Industrial Revolution was 100 years ago. Now this is the information, right? So data and information is the most valuable thing now, right? And so these companies are, that are collecting all that data, it exists somewhere on a server, on a cloud. And the bad people out there are spending their time and energy getting to it, right? So the challenge with AI is now you have a model that's trained to do certain things, and those individuals will access that model too. So it's a weapon, that right now maybe it's not a weapon, but it will become a weapon, right? And it's not a lot of data, right? Like to download videos, that's hard, but to download a model, that's not a lot of data, okay? So so that's the challenge, is that even if companies and good citizens exist, thank you for that comment, there are bad people out there that are just going to get to that and use it against, or in a bad way.
And not only, and we run into this a lot in our space, it's not only individuals that are bad, but like bad state actors with buildings full of people whose entire job going in and like going to the coffee machine every day is like just to hack your data, right? Truly sophisticated actors in the space. It's pretty troubling, yeah.
So, continuing on data, one of the things that, and this is a long recurring problem, certainly from, we also mentioned there was a camera early on in vision detection where if you had a certain skin tone or darker, you weren't seen by the camera, right? And these are, I don't mean to single that company out necessarily, but these are issues that could happen to anyone without kind of a broad concern for the data that's being consumed and used for training. So what are some of the pitfalls that you could point to or, leading to training bias, or even checking quality is an ongoing task.
Yeah, so one thing I want to call out is that when you have a startup, you're working really, really hard just to get your MVP working. And if you're doing any kind of machine learning or AI work, the second that it starts showing promise, you get really, really excited. But in using AI and machine learning, there are always these biases that present themselves, and you don't find them until later. And so a big part of this when you think about vision is, could skin tone be a factor? Do I have test data with different skin tones? Age could also be a factor. Unfortunately, as we get older, we get more wrinkly. We have sunspots and all kinds of blemishes and things. And so can that throw the system off if the system has only been trained on folks who are 20 or 30 years old? Or a more difficult area as well is, children who if you're taking a picture of their skin, it might be pristine, but also you might, get more of their hand in it because they have smaller hands. So naturally, as your products are out there, you're going to experience these things, and you can't get ahead of all of them. New things are going to pop up all the time, so the best thing you can do is to try to preempt as much as you can, be as fair as possible in your evaluation data, so making sure that you have good representation from different age groups and those sorts of things. But also, I challenge everybody when they hear from their customers that they're having problems to be really responsive and to really dig into them and take them seriously, because you might just uncover sort of pathological problem with your system. You might think what looks to be like a one-off, oh, that's just an error, systems make errors. If you don't take it seriously, you might not notice that your system has this really glaring issue with a demographic. So that's my best advice.
And have diverse teams, right? That's part of the reason that over and over data shows that diverse teams are more effective. It's just you've got more perspectives that find more blind spots.
Well, I think we've just about run out of time. I will remind you all to certainly sign up for the Luminate newsletter. We're going to be continuing these conversations on there. Thank you all for your time, your participation, for flying in or driving somewhat longer distances, or making time out of your day here in Rochester. Congratulations to all of the startups today. I was here for the first day of pitches, and you all wowed me that day. So congratulations, best of luck.
Thank you. Let's give a round of applause and clappers and cowbells to Dan, Francisco, Jonathan, and Chris. Thank you. Well, Jonathan wasn't here, but Charbel, thank you. It's really important before we introduce the remaining finalists that I talk just a little bit more about the famous inventions from Rochester, because we're all so proud of Rochester. Did you know the first child seat for a bicycle was created here? I didn't know that. French's creamy mustard, yes, if you go on Mustard Street, that's where it was created. And the antibiotic tetracycline, created right here in Rochester. So, yeah, let's give that round of applause for good old innovation right here in Rochester. Okay, so this proves that innovation is and has been all around us, and in fact, we only have to go a short distance across Lake Ontario from Rochester to get to our next cohort company. Q-Block Computing. Originating from Ontario, Canada, Q-Block is building quantum hardware for advanced computation, communication, and sensing for the defense and security sectors. Take a look.
Our company is called Q-Block Computing. Q-Block Computing is a quantum hardware startup focused on delivering quantum devices for advanced computation, communication, and sensing. At Q-Block Computing, we manipulate nature's most elementary building block, individual atoms, and individual photons for information processing. We have created products around being able to control every aspect of light. We have an ultra-stable laser system that generates laser fields with very long optical coherence. We stabilize this laser field to an ultra-high finesse optical resonator, and we detect this light field at its quantum limit and be able to modulate the shape of this light field at its physical limit. And these 4 products form the basis of an integrated quantum photonic platform that we call Q-Block modules. These 4 products serve the research and development community working on quantum information science. As an integrated quantum photonic platform, we can miniaturize large-scale laboratory systems into shoebox-sized servers. And we can develop application-driven quantum products that serves the defense and security segment. LNQ is our first quantum clock solution. Users can stabilize their radar system to detect faint objects at distance. Lucia Q is the world's first optical quantum memory for scalable quantum communication and in-network quantum computing. Defense clients will be able to deploy to send sensitive classified data over a secure communication network. Lucia Q is the world's first commercial offering of its kind. We can take these Q server backplanes and scale it up to thousands of these units to build a scalable network quantum computer. The current market for quantum is already a $5 billion opportunity. Before coming to Luminate, it was very difficult for us to represent what Q-Block computing is, what is the brand, and going through Luminate, we were able to iterate what is the unique value proposition and the comprehensive message of the company. The advent of utility-scale quantum computer will be a monumental achievement of human endeavor. With quantum computers, we will be able to achieve things that we thought was never possible before. This is why I come to work every day.
Q-Block computing. And our next team really didn't have to travel very far to participate in Luminate because Safer Street Solutions is from Rochester, New York, helping to reduce speeding, distracted driving, and car crashes through digital road signs that communicate with drivers and collect important data for communities. So let's see what they're all about.
Distracted driving and texting while driving causes over 10,000 deaths a year. And over 50% of vehicle deaths still happen because people don't buckle up. Our company is called Safer Street Solutions, and our mission is to reduce car accidents caused because of distracted driving and other unsafe driving behaviors. Our technology is a detector on the side of the road that has a special infrared sensor in it. With custom hardware and custom software, we relay to a sign message board the custom message for that driver. And so when a car drives by, the sensor scans the car to see if there's a phone or someone not wearing a seatbelt, and it runs special algorithms that can actually tell the difference between different types of texture. And there's a certain type of texture that is looking for whether someone's texting or talking on the phone, whether the front passengers have their seatbelt on, and the speed of the vehicle as it passes by. It's real-time education of telling people to stop doing something into action the second that they are doing it. Our signs are mostly focused on business districts and school zones, places that we really want people to be paying attention. We've seen elementary schools where up to 20% of parents, when they're dropping off their kids, are on their phones. After 4 weeks of our sign being up, we've seen a 40% reduction in distracted driving. One thing that's always been on the forefront of our mind is driver's privacy. All the data is fully anonymous. We don't take any images, we don't scan your license plate, there's no scanning of registration. All we know is that a vehicle passed at a certain time. The way that we collect driver behavior data today is we have someone standing on the side of the road watching each car that goes by. We've known this to be very inaccurate. Our technology replaces this with an automated system that automatically does the reporting and the data analysis for them. The data from our sensors can be sent up to the cloud, where local and state agencies are able to log into a dashboard, and this really helps them to make data-driven decisions about traffic safety. Luminate has been a great opportunity for us. They're really helping us redesign our product so we can have it mass manufactured to release it into a lot more places. The reason that I started this company was a week after I graduated high school, there was 5 girls in my high school class who passed away because of a distracted driving accident. I feel a huge amount of gratitude and a huge honor to be able to work on a problem that I really care about and to feel like we've developed a technology that makes an impact on a problem that we're so passionate about.
I think that'll make us all think a little bit when we get behind the wheel tonight. But next we're going to see and hear about See True Technologies from Joensuu, Finland. They're employing advanced eye tracking technology with robust sensing solution for use in healthcare, augmented and virtual reality, and industry applications. Take a closer look.
Eyes are known to be the mirror of the soul. There is 8 billion of pairs of eyes on the planet. There is currently no other way but by using eye tracking, monitor them to improve our lives. Our company is called See True Technologies, and the mission is to solve the eye tracking problem in optical devices. The problem with eye tracking is that it doesn't work with everybody and everywhere. The See True Technology team built a combination of hardware and software. And the hardware consists of the sensor, illuminator, and a microprocessor. Each sensor has one camera pointing towards the eye and multiple illuminators that create a unique pattern on the surface of the eye. And the software is taking care of sensing and analyzing the eye data. The real differences between our technology and the currently available ones is that we use a full 3D geometrical model of everybody's eye. We have very clever algorithms that maintain the 3D model of the eye, so at any moment we understand where somebody is looking at. It runs very quickly and it has a very small latency. This is important for industrial applications because our clients require accurate, fast and low latency data from the eye. And that allows us to bring a really robust solution to the market. There's a virtually unlimited number of applications of eye tracking. But we are currently focusing on 3 verticals: XR technology. XR refers to extended reality, eye health and vision diagnostics, and oculars of optical devices. The customers are looking for technology that's accurate, fast, small, power-saving, and easy to integrate. And See True Technologies is currently the only one that offers all these parameters at once. Our experience with Luminate is only positive. Setting foot in the US is an important step towards being able to interact with certain type of customers. This environment has stimulated us for truly new ideas. We want to develop technology that has real impact on people. And eye tracking is such that can significantly improve the lives of everybody by providing accurate diagnostics and eye monitoring in everyday use.
See True Technology. All right, our last company today comes from Brussels, Belgium. Voxel Sensors developed Percept, a new sensing module for wearing devices that's designed to seamlessly integrate with AI and sensor data to provide real-time contextual analysis of users' attention. The result, dramatically better user experiences in smartphones, wearables, and industrial applications. So let's see this video.
At Voxel Sensors, we're building technology to understand people and use that information to create applications and that are helpful to you and that are making you more efficient. In order to do that, you need a lot of sensory data, and the best place for sensory data is on the human body. We're the perfect device, I should say, to capture data about the world and about yourself. We created sensors, that is this very efficient silicon to sense light, and that sits into glasses, usually in the frames. That is extremely efficient, up to 100 times more efficient than any of the existing technologies. And you need that efficiency to make the sensor small, very low in power, very low in latency, and integratable. And we're adding a small illuminator, a laser, and we use that laser light to really capture the data. we would see the whole world in an image and in its 3D representation. For the eye tracking and the gaze tracking, the sensors don't sit on the side of the frames, the sensors sit on the inside because they need to look into your eyes. And so with the spatial information, we catalog the world, we catalog all the objects, we link actually what you're looking at to those physical objects to extract an understanding of your personal intention and your intent. That data will then feed into certain applications that really are about you and that really understand you and that to create, for example, a predictive AI agent. It's really something that is capable of making certain decisions on its own where you don't necessarily have to instruct. Our participation to Luminate has been great. It's a very, very well organized and intense program. Luminate helped us to get connected into the ecosystem. Here in Rochester, there's a lot of companies in the photonics and optics space, all the way from engineering to manufacturing. For me, the best program to participate in. And I have a little boy, and that's what makes me think about and find solutions to how we can create that world that is relevant to my little boy, but also that is relevant to all society, the whole humanity. And that's what I'm really, really passionate about.
Voxel sensors. You know, seeing this year's cohort really has proven that there is boundless potential among all of us. So much so that it's going to be really difficult, I think, to pick the audience choice. But start keeping that in the back of your mind because Luminate would not exist without your support and the support of Empire State Development. As Jim mentioned at the beginning, Vincent Esposito, the Senior Vice President for Regional Economic Development and the Assistant Secretary for Upstate Intergovernmental Affairs, that's a title, he is here with us today, so please welcome Vinny to our stage.
Thank you, Rebecca. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here. It's been a couple years since I had the pleasure of being here in person, and it's always an exciting day, but I really cannot resist the opportunity to ask the question, can I get more cowbell? Please, more cowbell. There we go. How about those presentations? These companies are fantastic. It is always inspiring to be here. It's my pleasure to bring congratulations from New York State Governor Hochul, from my colleague Ben Verschuren, who runs NYSTAR, to really thank all of you for coming to Rochester and participating and helping to build our economy, to thank Sujatha and the team who really keep running this program. I cannot believe that we are in our 7th and going on our 8th year of doing this. It's inspiring to see what you've created and the next generation of the great optics, photonics, and imaging industry in Rochester. I want to congratulate the teams. I want to offer to you what my CEO probably did for you last week. So last week you met Hope Knight, the CEO of Empire State Development, at your New York City Investor Forum. And that is if you need help from New York State in a way that you can be here, whether it's in Rochester or other parts of upstate, please let us know. It's my invitation to you. Ben is also here. Our regional office is here. Sujatha and Jim know how to find us when you need us. But we're excited to help you grow here and to see where you take these technologies for the betterment of not only our economy, but in almost every case, the betterment of humanity. So congratulations. Thank you again. I cannot wait to see how the winners are determined and the announcements that are coming. Have a great day.
Thank you, Vinny. Thank you for being here to recognize these innovative startups. Okay, with that, it's time to get to our awards portion of the event. Now, last week, our advisory board and judges reviewed the work of the finalists to choose the companies that will receive the follow-on funding. Each one of these companies are winners, really. We all know that. They deserve to be celebrated. But while today marks their graduation in the accelerator, every team will continue to receive mentoring and support to grow their business. As the staff likes to say, once a Luminate company, you're a Luminate company for life. There you go. It's a commitment, right? All right, so now it's your turn to let us know which of the contenders that really stood out for you. So everyone here, and also those watching online, you can decide who wins the Audience Choice Award. That's $10,000. So please take out your phones. Don't worry. There's no Wi-Fi password required in order for you to vote right here from this theater We're not going to take your images or your AI intelligence. But, okay, so you can go there to the QR code, or you can go to slido.com. That's SLIDO.com. And that's in your browser. And then you enter the code. You ready for the code? 1778413. Okay, so I'll say it, there it is. It's at the bottom of the screen right now, 1778413 if you're going to slido.com. All right, next you select your favorite company and you cast your vote. And if you're joining from home, all you do is you scroll just beneath the viewing screen and then you click the button. That's how you cast your vote. But you can only vote for one. That's it. And while you're finishing doing all that and casting your vote, I'd like to ask Luminate's Managing Director and Chief Investment Officer, Dr. Sujatha Ramanujan, to come and join me on the stage. Sujatha?
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I'm the short one. We need to do this. In being part of this program and in casting your vote, you've taken an important step in supporting Luminate and the future of tech. Emerging technologies wouldn't get out of the lab without the support of a community dedicated to making what might seem impossible, possible. Since we started Luminate 7 years ago, we have been able to help 75 companies move their technology and businesses forward. Today, 95% of those companies are still in business and have a collective estimated value of $675 million. We're now working to extend the success and reach of Luminate through a grant from the National Science Foundation to bring our program model to other tech industries, starting with the New Energy New York's launch of the Charge Up Accelerator on battery and energy storage solutions. I'd like to thank the Charge Up staff and the cohort teams who are with us today to celebrate. Thanks for joining us. As Rebecca mentioned earlier, today's companies are all winners, regardless of whether they receive follow-on funding on the stage or not. I want each and every team to know how extraordinary you are for your brilliance, your innovations, and your sheer determination to be successful. I've enjoyed working with you, all of you, and look forward to your future progress. I want to also encourage entrepreneurs who are watching today and who have a startup that's developing technologies with the use of optics, photonics, or imaging to consider applying for Cohort 8. Luminate's application period is open until January 10th, and it's really easy to apply. If you want to learn more, go to luminate.org and register for an upcoming info session. We'd love to meet you and help you assess if you're a good fit. We also encourage you to consider becoming a member of Optica. Imagine the power of being part of an organization that brings together hundreds of thousands of bright minds who share the love of science and light and are eager to help emerging ideas become a reality. Finally, if you're working on any type of new hardware product, NextCore's free online manufacturing accelerator is also recruiting its next cohort. These applications are due by November 5th. This year, our Luminate teams took advantage of this manufacturing support, which helps reduce the risks and costs associated with getting products to production. Excuse me. If you're a startup, you might want to check that opportunity out as well, nextcore.org. That's nextcorps.org. The Luminate voting period is now ending. And with that, it's time to hand out the awards. Jim and Rebecca, can you please come back up on stage? So everybody get your cowbells and clappers, get ready to make some noise.
Thank you, Sujatha. Thank you, Sujatha. All right, and Jim is coming up. Thank you, Jim. So we want to have time for the founder to come up on the stage, shake hands, get the photo taken. So we will go right down the list. We're going to start with Cure Vision. They'll be receiving their Innovator graduation trophies. All right, thank you very much. The next recognition is for Enlipsium. Our next recognition is for ILOF. Smiling. The next recognition is for NixLab. The next recognition is for photosynthetic. The next recognition is for Q-block computing. The next innovator from Cohort 7, Safer Street Solutions from Rochester. Our next recognition, See True Technologies. Next up, voxel sensors. Hey. Gotta love a good prop. And our final innovator trophy from Cohort 7 goes to AI Optics. All right, it's getting good. Okay, here we go. I'll continue now. You ready, everybody? Because now we want to give the Honorable Achievement Award, and $100,000 goes to photosynthetic. Keep the clapping. Keep them going. That's photosynthetic. Honorable Achievement Award. $100,000. All right, thank you. And you know what? We have a two-way tie for the Distinguished Graduate Award. That's $200,000 going to each company. The first winner, AI Optics. He's coming back. Graduate Award. And another $200,000 will go to voxel sensors. next is our Outstanding Graduate Award, and $500,000 goes to ILOF. Is the outstanding graduate. Congratulations. Okay, are you ready for the results of your vote? This year's Audience Choice Award, and I just received the winner, $10,000 goes to Safer Street Solutions from Rochester, New York. Hometown favorite. Congratulations, our Audience Choice Award, Safer Streets Solutions. And now, the final award today comes with a check for $1 million. And the Luminate 2024 Company of the Year, this award goes to Nick's Lab. Congratulations! Nick's Lab is your 2024 winner. Come on up. It's time to celebrate. Congratulations! This is your Luminate 2024 Company of the Year, Nick's Lab. Keep it ringing. Keep those cowbells going. Exciting. I see some tears. This is so exciting, and congratulations to everyone up here and everyone in the audience as well. The work showcased over the last 90 minutes is destined to change our world. Do you feel it? Do you feel that? We know it's going to happen. But as we've mentioned, the potential is limitless. It's just up to all of us, and we hope that you'll continue to be inspired by the work of these companies and all the others in Luminate. We remind you you can subscribe to Lens. That's Luminate's monthly newsletter filled with news on all the progress of these companies and insights to optics, photonics, imaging fields, and lots more. Just go to luminate.org and you can subscribe. So as we close, remember this. Where there is inspiration, there is always energy and light. So be that energy and light for others. Thank you so much for coming to Luminate 2024. We appreciate if you're here. Please join us for food and refreshments in the lobby to celebrate all of our winners today. And we'll see you in 2025.